Today, high creeping closer to 90 degrees. Now, we could see some rain this afternoon. Better chance, though, of rain coming in later this week. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. It is Election Day in some parts of metro Atlanta.
Voters in North Fulton and Cherokee counties head to the polls today for the runoff election for the District 21 state Senate seat that was formerly held by Brandon Beach. He was tapped to serve as the U.S. Treasurer. The race is between Democrat Deborah Shigley. She's facing Republican Jason Dickerson, and it's generated a whole lot of interest with more than 16,000 folks turning out for early voting, and that's more than voted in the first election. Speaking of that election, which was held August 26th, Shigley led the pack of 6 Republicans with just under 40% of the vote then. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Well, as he returns to TV tonight, Jimmy Kimmel expected to address his suspension following his comments last week about the killing of Charlie Kirk. The suspension came following pressure from the FCC. Not everyone will be able to see tonight's show. Sinclair Broadcasting will be among the affiliates refusing to air Jimmy Kimmel Live. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti reads part of the statement from ABC's parent company, Disney, which claims the suspension was meant to avoid inflaming an already tense situation.
We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday.
Now, many lawmakers from both parties joined entertainment industry insiders calling the show's suspension an infringement of the First Amendment. Tonight's show and all others will air on Channel 2. Union Pacific and unionized workers announced an agreement to protect jobs as a company eyes a merger with Atlanta-based Norfolk Southern.
The two sides said the Union for Sheet Metal Transportation and other rail workers and Union Pacific Railroad reached an agreement that guarantees union members will have job protection for the rest of their careers after the merger closes. The statement says that such a guarantee is unprecedented in the history of the nation's railroads. The union said that as a result of the agreement, it would support the proposed merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
And President Trump addresses the United Nations General Assembly today in New York City as more countries, including several U.S. allies, announced their pledge to recognize a Palestinian state.
The wave of unilateral recognition was sharply criticized by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, who vowed a response by the end of the week.
Reporter Olivia Gaza says the U.S. has also criticized the designation. The president set to speak today with Ukrainian President Zelensky as well to discuss the war against Russia. Talks about increased U.S. tariffs could also be a major focus of this week's UN event. It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start with Triple Team Traffic. Here's Smiler Mark McKay.
Running late this morning out of Alpharetta, Judd, due to a crash that had multiple lanes blocked on Georgia 400 southbound in Roswell past Holcomb Bridge Road, exit 7. Now it's working completely on the right shoulder, so the jam that begins just south of Haynesbridge will start to improve. Still filled in on I-85 as you work your way out of Duluth into Norcross, especially around Pleasant Hill Road. Crash working left shoulder I-75 southbound near Windy Hill Road, contributing to those delays, leaving the Lockheed Dobbins Delk Road exit down to I-285. Let's check out downtown Midtown Atlanta now with the help of Ashley Frasca.
Crowded but moving. A trip time of about 20 minutes on 75-85 northbound through the city between Langford Parkway and Atlantic Station, 17th Street. 85 southbound in from Brookhaven. A little crowded early starting now before Claremont Road for the ride into downtown. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy skies today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Trending hotter tomorrow with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers for Thursday, high 79.
71 degrees right now in Stockbridge, 70 and coming up to 72 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Good morning, everyone. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. My little brother is commemorating, celebrating Rosh Hashanah. We'll get to that later on in the show, but I'm in for the morning. I'll be here until 12 noon, so stay with me all day. You could comment or contact us or comment on social media at WSB Radio or at Shelley Winter, SHELLEY WYNTER. And you can watch the live feed. I'm looking pretty dapper this morning, so you can watch the live feed at WSBRadio.com. I want to start with the big news. Jimmy Kimmel returns tonight, Tuesday night. Let me be honest with you, right? So I'm for those of you who don't know, I air every night, 7 to 9 p.m. on this great station, 95.5 WSB. You could check me out I think I'm back this evening. I got to check, Longoria. I think I'm back this evening. I haven't checked yet. But I'm on every night, 7 to 9 p.m., so please check out the show. Jimmy Kimmel comes back tonight. I personally have not watched late night comedy, if you want to call it that, probably since the late David Letterman, meaning late when David Letterman was towards the end of his career on late night. I have not watched. Not because I don't like these guys, not because they become too political. It has nothing to do with that, right? It has everything to do with, that's not my thing anymore. When I was younger, I did watch them. But Conan, Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, these guys they're not, I don't know. I don't think it's about the content as much as it's about my lifestyle has changed, right? And also what has happened is there's so much to watch at that time of night. I usually get off the air at 9 o'clock. I get home about 9:30. I eat a light dinner, and then I'm usually like looking for my streaming shows, or I'm looking for sports, or I'll even watch reruns. But there's nothing in me that says, "Ooh, you've got to go watch late night comedy." It's just not it's not me anymore. And there's a lot of people that are like that. But I want to just start with what got us here, right? This is Jimmy Kimmel. The night when he got in trouble. This is what he said. We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang trying to characterize this kid who killed Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. Okay, that's what he said. In between the finger pointing, the White House flew the flag at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president was taking this. And they cut to a clip of President Trump being boarding the Marine One, and the reporter asked him how he was holding up a day and a half after Charlie Kirk was murdered. And Donald Trump, they play a clip, and he says, "I think very good." And then he starts pointing to trucks, saying they're starting construction on a new White House ballroom. So Kimmel comes back on the air, and he says this. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. This is not how an adult grieved the murder of someone who he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. That was the thing. And he got fired for it. I remember when Bill Maher, after 9/11, told what was probably the most disgusting joke ever and got fired from ABC when he did that. Now, it wasn't about the joke being funny or not when I'm talking about Bill Maher. It was really about the timing of it. Like, yes, I understand you're a comedian, but there is such a thing in comedy called too soon, particularly on a joke about an attack on America. Right? And 3,000 people dead. And so there is a too soon factor. In this case of Jimmy Kimmel, I didn't see it live, so I can't sit here and tell you I was outraged, right? I just read to you what he said. The problem that I have with what he said was it wasn't funny. It in no way, shape, or form was funny. Because a 4-year-old actually mourns the death of a goldfish. I remember when my mom got me a goldfish. I don't remember how old I was. I know I wasn't that old. And when I came home or I saw the goldfish floating at the top on its side, I was crying. I tried to push it. I put my finger in the water. I pushed it around. It went down, came back up, went down, came back up. I went to my mom. I said, "Mom, goldfish is not swimming." She said, "Oh, it died. We're going to flush it down the toilet." And I cried. I mourned the death of my first goldfish, like most children will do. So even Jimmy Kimmel's comments were not even funny. But here's a little behind the curtain for all of you. And what I'm going to say, it won't get you mad, but it may get the people in charge someplace mad at me for saying it. The truth of the matter is, there is so much content to consume out there that nobody's really watching. We can argue, or Donald Trump makes the argument that Kimmel's ratings are down. Well, down from what? Down from Johnny Carson, which was the only game in town? Yet, if you go back in time, I'm privileged to have lived through 3 channels, ABC, NBC, and CBS. right? So I had to watch Happy Days. And Happy Days was hugely popular. Was it hugely popular because it was so good? Or was it there was nothing else to watch? That's the truth of the matter, my friends. Nobody's watching these shows. And it's not because they're bad or they're good or anything in between. Nobody's watching because there's so much else. There's so many things to do. At 11:30 at night, I can honestly tell you I'm not checking for late night comedy, if you want to call it that. I don't care to see an interview with a B-list reality show guest or a star, if you will. Quote, air quotes. I'm doing air quotes. I don't care to watch that. I will watch Rainmaker, this new series that I got caught up on, or I may watch any number of BBC series. I may watch a movie. I may rewatch a movie. This past weekend, I watched Predator for probably the 100th time in my life and realized that it was probably one of the best Predators ever, besides Alien versus Predator. My point is that there's so much to do with our time before we even, and that's before we even get to television. We got stuff going on in our homes. The wife wants to be her feet rubbed. Dinner has to be cleaning the house, getting prepared for work. There's so many things to do. And we haven't even turned on the television yet. So the point here is that whether Jimmy Kimmel comes back tonight, I don't care. I didn't care when he got fired. I thought it was wrong to fire him. I thought we were going down a dangerous path. I thought it was wrong to screenshot people's posts that may have said vile, disgusting things about Charlie Kirk's murder. I thought it was vile and disgusting to screenshot those people's posts, send them to their managers, send them to their administrators, send them to their principals of their schools, and get them fired. I thought that was disgusting. I don't want that. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in a world where comedians can't tell even unfunny jokes on television when no one's watching. And no one saw it. 99% of this country never saw Jimmy Kimmel's comments. Never saw it because they weren't watching. That's really the truth of the matter. And we shouldn't be jumping up and down. ABC decided to bring him back. Good for ABC. Never should have been fired in the first place. And all the teachers who were fired, all the firefighters who were fired, all the administrators who were let go, the young lady at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta that was fired, the Delta employee that was fired, all of them should be brought back to work. Every single one of these companies that fired people for making posts after Charlie Kirk's murder should get on the phone, call these people back. Okay, did you enjoy suspension? You won't do it again? Come back to work. That's what should happen. We should not be firing people because we disagree with them, no matter how vile their commentary may be on social media. Here at the station, we had to reread our social media policy. And it was confusing to me. I'll be honest with you. I may get in trouble for this, but it's early in the show. You know, what the heck. But it was confusing to me. What I can and cannot do, what I can and cannot say. Commentary on Charlie Kirk's murder, there were some people that agreed with it, no matter how vile and disgusting it may have been. I didn't agree with the vile, disgusting things, but there are a bunch of people out there who did. So what makes it necessarily destructive or fireable offense if some people agreed with it? I just feel like we're going down a path, and I've been saying this since Friday after Mr. Kirk got murdered. I've been saying this loud and clear, and I want to say it here on Mark Arum Show because it's a different time slot and a different audience. We are going down a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous path where we're being asked by our Vice President of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, the most powerful country in the world. We're being asked by him to turn in our neighbors and our friends and our coworkers if they say something. That's where we are. And that's very dangerous. And as a conservative, I don't like it one bit. So welcome back, Jimmy Kimmel. If I tuned in tonight, you know why I will tune in? I want to hear his monologue. I want to hear how he handles the last couple days. It'll be interesting. Other than that, I won't watch because I've never watched. And I'll continue down that path of never watching. Not because he's not funny, not because he attacks Donald Trump every day. It's just because I don't watch late night comedy anymore. I've outgrown it, if you will. I'm not laying in bed with my wife of 25 years waiting for Johnny Carson to come on the air as we lay in our beds in our nightgowns and click on, let's watch Johnny, honey. You know why everybody did that? Because there was nothing else to do. Literally, there was nothing else to do. So you had to watch Johnny Carson. Think about this. As we were growing up, for those of you who grew up like me, Gen Xers, baby boomers, think about this. Would Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley be hit shows right now with all the content that's out there? Probably not. All in the Family would. MASH would. They would be hit shows no matter what era they played in because they were great. They were great content. But nowadays, we have so much to choose from. So much to choose from. You've got to understand that not many people watch Kimmel, Conan, or any of those guys. Not because they're not funny, not because they're critical of Republicans. It's because they have better things to do. And no one's running home to get in bed to watch late night comedy, if you want to call it such. So welcome back, Jimmy. I may watch tonight, or I might just wait for the clips to come out in the morning, which they will. And when they come out in the morning, I'll watch a clip of your monologue, and then I'll go on my show at 7 o'clock tomorrow night and talk about it. And it'll be just another piece of content that all of us will share. That's really the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. No one's watching. No one's watching. No one's reading. Everyone's listening. It's it's not the Shelley Winter Show. It's the Mark Arum Show. Shelley Winter filling in for Mark Arum. Let's go check traffic with my little brother, actually my big brother, Smiling Mark McKay. Hey, Smiling.
Hey, good morning, Shelley. We are rounding out that slow traffic, trying to wind down what has been a rugged ride between Alpharetta and Roswell due to a crash that at one time had multiple lanes knocked out. Now working on the right shoulder of 400 southbound past Holcomb Bridge Road, exit 7. That's why it's still thick, leaving Old Milton Parkway. Crash on the jam cam knocks out part of the left lane outbound I-75. Heron police working at I-75 north just before Barrett Parkway, exit 269. A few southbound delays leaving Marietta, and 85 still quite slow, leaving Highway 316, but improves toward Indian Trail Road in Norcross. This report sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is, how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum until 12 noon. 95.5 WSB has 5 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Listen for the keywords at 8 a.m., 10 a.m. That's coming up. Noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. You have 30 minutes to enter the keyword, and one lucky nationwide listener will get paid $1,000. So coming up at 10 a.m., I will be giving you the keyword of the day. So listen out for that. My name is Shelley Winter. I'm just filling in for Mark Arum as he celebrates Rosh Hashanah. So I want to take a couple seconds, Longoria and Deborah Green, and I'm here with all the guys and ladies. Deborah Green, executive producer and of the Mark Arum Show. My cousin Vinny on the wheel on the call-ins, or screening your calls, and Longoria on the wheels of steel over there. And Rosh Hashanah, right, is today. So I'm reading, right? So I'm filling in for Mark because he is, I guess, celebrating Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, right?
Right.
So I'm filling in today. I'm thinking, because I read everything, I read all the information about Rosh Hashanah, that I'd be in again for him tomorrow. Because it says here that I'm reading, it says Rosh Hashanah is from sundown yesterday till sundown tomorrow.
Oh.
But he's back on air tomorrow.
Yes.
And so I don't understand that. Either you're celebrating or you're not. Right? I mean, I'm just asking, how does this work?
I mean, I think only Mark can determine how he wants to celebrate his faith. I'm not going to tell you as a Christian that I haven't worked on Christmas. I mean, technically I should be off that day and work, and be honoring, but I've had to work plenty of Christmas days. So I think it's up to Mark how he feels honoring the day.
I feel like it's taking off Christmas Eve and then coming to work on Christmas, because the holiday is from last night till tomorrow night. So I guess you're a temp here at 95.5.
Let me rephrase that. Extra hours.
That doesn't even count. But a happy Rosh Hashanah to all those who celebrate. In this case, the New Year, 5786 would be the Jewish New Year, 5786. So God bless and happy Rosh Hashanah to all those who celebrate. But really, Mark should take off tomorrow as well, and let me fill in again, but we will see what happens. Coming up next, I want to talk about this blackface story. If you've been listening all morning long, they were covering it in Atlanta's Morning News, the story out of Fayette County with blackface. There's a lot more to it than you may understand. A lot more to it, and I may bring Vinny, my cousin Vinny, in on this. Also, there's a lot of politics. We have a big special election today. Deborah Shigley, you've been hearing about, versus Jason Dickinson, the Republican. I want to talk about that later on. We've got a lot. Scott Slade joining us at 10:30. And don't forget, your 5K a day bonus blitz word of the day is coming up after 10 a.m. And then Trump also speaks a little bit before 10 a.m. President Donald Trump is going to be speaking to the UN. Want to pay close attention to what he says about it in that speech. It's going to be very interesting. So a big day, big morning. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. I'm excited to be here. Our phone numbers, if you wish to chime in, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. For those of you who have never heard me before, I normally air on this great station, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk, every single night, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you never had a chance, please check me out. But give me a listen now to see if you want to come back later on this evening. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
That nagging joint pain, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's from years of hard work. Sometimes it's an old injury that just never healed right. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for too long. But that stops right now. I'm Mark Arum. QC Kinetics is here to flip that script. They use regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatments that help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints, not cover it up, not cut it out, actually helping heal and restore. And the results, long-term, lasting relief. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no long recovery, just a smarter, natural way to get your freedom back. Bring your MRIs, your X-rays, and they'll make sure you're a good candidate. Your first consultation, it's free, friends, so there's no reason to wait. Call QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Decatur, Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, and Douglasville. Appointments available on Saturday. 770-285-8026.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, we're hearing more reaction this morning to the government warning that pregnant women should not take Tylenol because it claims that it increases the risk of autism. Well, many health experts insist there's no concrete evidence of that link. Dr. Danielle Fallon, Dean of Public Health at Emory University, says there is evidence that leaving a fever untreated while pregnant can increase the chance of the disorder.
Women who are in pregnancy experiencing
experiencing fever absolutely should be working with their care provider to figure out the best way to treat fever. And right now, that tool is acetaminophen.
And the government may add a warning to products in the future containing the active ingredient in Tylenol. It is currently 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says, see partly cloudy skies today, high creeping close to 90 degrees. Could see some rain later on today, but the better chance comes in later this week. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. The mayor of South Fulton due in court in about 30 minutes now for a bond plea and arraignment hearing following his arrest 2 years ago on criminal trespassing charges. Prosecutors accuse Khalid Kamal of entering a home on Cascade Palmetto Highway without permission. He told police at the time he was looking at the house because he wanted to buy it. Criminal trespassing charge against Kamal, he also goes by Mayor Kobe, is a misdemeanor. He could face a year in jail or a fine if convicted. Union workers reach an agreement with Union Pacific as it works on a possible merger with Atlanta-based Norfolk Southern.
The two sides said the Union for Sheet Metal Transportation and other rail workers and Union Pacific Railroad reached an agreement that guarantees union members will have job protection for the rest of their careers after the merger closes. The union said that as a result of the agreement, it would support the proposed merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern.
And Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti said both sides of the workers' deal call it a guarantee that's unprecedented in the history of U.S. railroads. Alpharetta kicks off a fundraising campaign for a city farm that serves the community.
Old Rucker Farm is already a success, says the city's Community Agriculture and Sustainability Services Manager, Amanda Maselli.
Showing people how food grows so they can have a deeper understanding of where their food comes from.
But she says an old farmhouse on the site needs some updating so they can turn it into an education center for classes for adults and kids year-round, no matter what the weather's doing. And they'll continue producing thousands of pounds of food each year for a local food bank.
It's a lot of food, and it's really beautiful.
The goal is to raise $650,000 by the end of this year. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
And there's a new king of beers in the U.S.
What is you, Michelob Ultras? Michelob's light lager has officially taken the crown from Modelo Especial, which ruled the brew world since 2023, when Anheuser-Busch's Bud Light fell from grace.
Deborah Rodriguez reports industry experts believe heavier tariffs along with recent immigration crackdowns have hurt the sales of foreign-made beers like Modelo Especial. It is 9:33 as we check your money. A mixed bag on Wall Street as the bell rings here for your Tuesday. The Dow, great start for it. It's over 100 points right now. S&P about flat. NASDAQ is down slightly. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and smile on Mark McKay.
All right, Judd, still delays left over out of the northern suburbs, especially that ride between Duluth and Norcross, filled in, leaving Highway 316, easing up in the right lanes as you leave Indian Trail Road inside the perimeter. Watch for DeKalb Fire Rescue, Hero, even a rescue unit working in the right lane of I-85 southbound right before Chamblee-Tucker Road, exit 94. Continue south on I-85 through Brookhaven. You'll see brake lights. You'll be in them as well as you leave Claremont Road, exit 91. And 400 is easing off just barely out of Alpharetta past a crash that still works on the right shoulder in Roswell. 400 southbound south of Holkenbridge Road, exit 7. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible this afternoon. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, trending hotter with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers on Thursday, high 79.
72 degrees in Lawrenceville, 71 in Kennesaw, 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've had some great Mondays. I'm having a good Monday right now. Look, it's beautiful outside.
Got that nice loud shirt.
Eric Von Haessler has an opinion.
It's a citrusy, summery, I think breezy kind of shirt.
And some advice.
But just remember this.
Eric Von Haessler, today at 3.
I never have and never will smoke a cigar.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show, Shelley Winter filling in. We're going to talk about this controversy, air quotes, of blackface in Fayette County at a high school volleyball game. That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Scratching, scampering, and scurry noises in your attic? You've got squirrels. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. Better get Breda Pest Management to kick them out before those squirrely scoundrels start running an Airbnb in your attic. Those squirrels not leaving without a fight. They'll keep coming back, chewing new holes over and over again. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected and at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs. I'm thrilled with my Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns inviting you to North Georgia Replacement Windows' brand new Alpharetta showroom. I was blown away. Bring your window and door project to life here. See the fiberglass difference in person. Your stress-free experience includes a quick, accurate proposal, no pressure. Window and door shopping made simple.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
It might be too early for Christmas carols, yes indeed, but it's not too early to plan for your holiday lights. I'm Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash, well, they already keep my homes outside looking great. Now they handle my holiday lights, too, and honestly, I am relieved I don't have to hang off that ladder myself anymore. With Thanksgiving right around the corner, family and travel, all the holiday busyness, rustling with lights last minute is the one thing I do not want to deal with. Wise Guys makes it simple. They custom design, they provide the lights, install, and when the season is over, they take everything down and store it for me. Best of all, they're local. No contracts to lock you in. Free service calls within 24 hours, and you can change up the design each year for a fresh look. Now, they book up fast. I don't want you to miss out. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler. Book now to get $100 off installations before October 15th. Get off the ladder. Let Wise Guys lights brighten your holidays in more ways than one.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. Here's the story, ladies and gentlemen. Whitewater High School in Fayette County. They were playing LaGrange High School in a volleyball game. Now, I played high school basketball. Maybe times have changed, but don't know that there's a lot of attendance at a volleyball game at all. But here's what happened, right? A viral photo shows two young men and two young women dressed entirely in black with one man shirtless and most of their exposed skin painted black. Each was wearing a white curly or Afro-style wig and smiling to show their teeth. The smiling to show their teeth, I'm not sure what that means. Each had a letter on their chest spelling Riley in the photo. The principal said none of them attended the school. So we got to find out if there's a Riley on the volleyball team that they were celebrating. But it was a blackout game. So let me explain what a blackout game means. A blackout game is where everyone comes dressed in black to cheer for their team. Blackout game. These people had black face, black bodies, and everything else. And so Derek Jackson, who's actually, so this is important to note. Derek Jackson is a state rep who's out of Tyrone. Tyrone is a city in Fayette County. He's also running for governor. This is very important to note. I know Derek Jackson, good man. Not sure if he has a chance to win the governor, gubernatorial. I don't even think he has a chance to get through the primary, much less winning in the general. But he's getting no traction at all in the governor's race. He's running as a Democrat. He's getting no traction. Barely mentioned when they mention the Democrats running for governor. As a matter of fact, you heard Keisha Lance Bottoms, you hear Jason Estevez, you hear Michael Thurman, and then there's Derek Jackson. Barely ever mentioned. So he needs something, and this is that something. So he said that the superintendent, Jonathan Patterson, needs to take immediate and decisive action. Well, I'm not sure what action the superintendent needs to take because the kids, according to the principal, these people didn't go to school. So what action is he supposed to take? Then Mr. Jackson says the presence of blackface was an act of profound insensitivity in the Fayette County school system. Failure to address it was unacceptable. This is a time for the superintendent to leave. I guess he's supposed to quit, right? The superintendent. Why? We're here to demand that the superintendent take immediate and decisive action. Not sure what that action looks like, especially since the young people, according to the principal of Whitewater High School, did not go to the school. The NAACP, the Fayette County NAACP, has jumped in. Our position is clear. We fully condone any acts of inference, hate, racism, or intimidation. Not sure they were intimidating anybody. Not sure there was any hate here. And so one of the big statements that you've been hearing all morning is Mr. Jackson, State Representative Jackson, also a gubernatorial candidate for governor on the Democrat side. That's important to note here. Why would anyone in 2025 do this? In a school where our babies go to learn, when our families go to a volleyball game for entertainment, they shouldn't be faced with this. We will not stop until every child in our community feels safe, valued, and respected. My question is, why in 2025 is this still an issue? Meaning, why are you offended by it? Seriously. And how do kids not feel safe because of it? Do you think some kid walked into the volleyball game and said, oh, my God, I feel threatened, I'm going to run out scared? Why in 2025 would you think anybody's doing this? And if they are doing it, they just look stupid. If they have ill will in their heart for doing it, then they just look stupid. But there's no one afraid of this. They didn't wear Klan hoods. They weren't threatening anybody. Why is this a fear thing? Why? Because you're running for governor and you're getting no traction. That's why. This is a nothing burger. It really is. It's 2025. You think these kids really think of Al Jolson in blackface and vaudeville? Do you think they really went back that far and said, oh, I know what we'll do. Let's do this. It'll offend people. That's what kids do. Is it racist? You could make the argument. But is it scary? Does it engender fear? It shouldn't. It shouldn't at all. But this is where we are in our politics of today. We've got to find something. I'm running for governor. I need something. No one's talking about me. I need a press conference. I need to be standing next to the NAACP, and they need to galvanize around me because I need something. I can't win on policy. I can't win on ideas, so I need this to get my name out there because right now, nobody's talking about me. They're talking about a former mayor who worked for the Biden administration. They're talking about a state senator. And they're talking about a long-time African-American Democrat who's a former CEO of DeKalb County who happened to be the last Democrat, one of the last Democrats to win statewide. They're not talking about me, and I need the conversation to be about me. That's really what this is about. There's nobody. I can't tell you that if I walked into a volleyball game in high school and seen a bunch of kids dressed in all black with blacked out faces that I would be in fear. I'd probably laugh. Oh, that's pretty funny. Why'd you guys do that? Oh, we thought it'd be cool. It's a blackout game. Oh, okay. Are they mocking African Americans? No. Are they doing jive talk? No. Are they wearing gold chains? No. They're just in blackface at a blackout game. I think that as an African American, and maybe I view things differently, and I'm going to go to Vinny in just a couple seconds to ask him what he thinks. But I just think in this day and age that there's so many more things for me to be fearful of. As an American, 1. As a man, 2. As an African American man, 3. And 4, I got to add this, as a black conservative, 5. There's so many things that I need to be afraid of, or I should be afraid of, or I should be concerned about. I do talk radio. I share opinions every single night. Did I tell you I'm on 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every night? I share my opinions every single night. Many of my opinions are unpopular to some people. Some of them are very popular to other people. Some of the people that think my opinions they agree with, sometimes they disagree in the very next segment. A guy just got murdered for his opinion. Maybe I should be afraid of that. I'm told that I should be, that I shouldn't be so public with where I'm going to be all the time. That's what they told me. They literally told me after Charlie Kirk got murdered. I sat down with management. They told me, hey, you're very open about where you're going to be all the weekends and where you're going to be. And you tell people up front, hey, meet me here. You might want to be careful about that. You think I'm worried about a couple high school kids at a volleyball game in blackface? The least of my worries. The absolute, positively least of my worries. And I think at some point, as a community, and I'm speaking to African Americans right now, as a community, we need to pay attention to the real threats. not the made-up threats of a bunch of high school kids in blackface. Vinny.
What up?
What are your thoughts? You're African-American, you're a young African-American male, grew up in the city of Atlanta.
Right.
What are your thoughts? You go to a volleyball game, you see a bunch of kids all blacked out in blackface, little afro wigs, you afraid or you're offended or in any way? Talk to me.
I think it's just more confusion rather than afraid. I think it's just like you hear blackout and they go, it's like they went full-fledged. In a sense, it's like, oh, you guys really blacked out. Like, I don't know. I think that's
would you
where
be
it is.
offended?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, off initial reaction, sure.
Off initial reaction, then
Yes,
you would laugh, it sounds like.
I would laugh. I do like you say, like, I'm just going to ask, like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? And, whatever the answer is, that's just what it is. Okay, cool.
And you'd walk away. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't call a press conference.
I'm not proud of a press conference. No press conference for me.
Unless you were running for governor, then you
Right.
would, because no one's talking
I need
about
to
you.
talk about something. Yes.
Exactly right. Thank you, Vinny, for chiming in. And it's so, again, these stories come out. Let me say this as a political pundit. Much of what's going on right now in our country right now is turnout. We need turnout. Democrats need turnout. And Democrats are too splintered to turn out on policy, because you have progressive, you have the far left Democrats, you have moderate Democrats, you have pro-business Democrats. And so what does galvanize the base of the Democrat Party, which are African Americans, particularly women, are race stories. Stories like these. This brings people out. Emmanuel Jones is running against David Scott. Emmanuel Jones, a longtime state senator here in Georgia. He's running against Congressman David Scott, longtime congressman here in the 13th district of Georgia. And he's running against David Scott. Again, nobody's talking about that race. David Scott's an incumbent, been there many years. He's sick, he's older, and he probably should have retired a couple terms ago. But Emmanuel Davis, is running against him, and he's pointing out that David Scott voted yes to the Charlie Kirk resolution, one of the few Democrats to vote yes. And he's making a big deal about that. The same way in which Buddy Carter and other Republicans running against Mike Collins are making a big deal of Mike Collins not voting at all, thinking and using the excuse, I thought I voted, which is probably true. I'm sure he would have voted for this resolution, but he thought he voted. He missed the vote, and now they're going after him for that. No one in their right mind thinks Mike Collins would not have voted for this resolution. But this is where we are. Every attack becomes a political attack, and it's where we are. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. Let's go check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
9:48, and we are watching delays on the east side perimeter, 285 northbound leaving Covington Highway. As you work your way up to Highway 78, new trouble possibly in the work zone. I see a slow zone on the jam cam on I-20 eastbound leaving Panola Road, exit 71. We will scan that to see if there's any problems that'll hold you up there. And as you roll down through Roswell, still watching delays on 400 southbound past Holcomb Bridge Road, exit 7. Police still working a crash on the right shoulder. This report sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember, you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
After suspect refuses to exit home on Summer Chase Drive.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median on the jam cam.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The major culprits squeezing household budgets for auto insurance, gasoline, and utilities.
Your 24/7 news source. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Stressed out that you might need a new water heater and you're just like, oh my goodness, how much is this going to cost? Let me put your mind at ease, folks. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check this out. You can get a new water heater for only $29.99 a month. That's right. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or go tankless for only $59.99 a month and enjoy instant and endless hot water. Their water heater installations come with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guarantee, or they pay you 3 $100. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and low monthly payments. That's an unbelievable deal. I want you to schedule a convenient time for an appointment on their website right now. ReliableAir.com. That's ReliableAir.com. Or call or text 770-594-9969. 770-594-9969.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you're hearing scratching, scampering, scurrying noises in your attic, you, my friends, have squirrels. It's Mark Aram here. Getting squirrels out of your home is challenging, and you certainly need an experienced pro to do the job right. Better get Breda to kick them out before those squirrely scoundrels start running an Airbnb in your attic for all the critters in your neighborhood. And those squirrels are not leaving without a fight. Trust me, they'll chew their way back in over and over again. You need the Breda Wildlife Guarantee to cover every entry point, old and new. The other guys only guarantee the entry point they seal, so each time that squirrel chews a new hole, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars more. The squirrels, trust me, will keep coming back, and so will Breda. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected and at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like squirrels. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram till 12 noon today. He is celebrating Rosh Hashanah, and happy Rosh Hashanah to all who celebrate. Let me go to Tim really quickly. Tim from Jefferson, real quick, Tim.
Hey, hey, Shelley. Great to talk to you. How you doing?
You too, sir.
Enjoy listening to the show. Don't always agree with you, but I appreciate your commentary. I'd like to present an opposing view to the social media accountability out there.
Oh, okay. Quickly, go ahead.
All right. So First Amendment, obviously, I think we agree applies to governments towards to the people, but not necessarily private entities. Correct?
I agree. Yes, sir.
All right. So picture yourself as a private business owner. You have an employee who's out there talking hateful, spewing remarks that alienate your coworkers, loud enough for the public and customers to hear. Are you saying that an employee can't hold that person accountable? And
they absolutely can. They absolutely can. But unless they want to have a lawsuit on their hands, they better monitor everyone the same. And not just when they agree or disagree. So, for instance, let's say an employee that got fired from a private private company for spewing stuff about Charlie Kirk's murder or Charlie Kirk himself after he was murdered. Let's say an employee got fired and then went back and found an employee that did something making fun of George Floyd when he was murdered, or making fun of Trayvon Martin when he was murdered. If they found that, they'd find a mediocre lawyer and sue the pants off of that employer. So there becomes the problem. Who determines what's hateful speech? You and I know what hateful speech is because we love Charlie Kirk. But on the other side, what about other things? What about somebody at that same company says, hey, those blackface kids, they did nothing wrong, leave them alone. Someone may find that hateful. And now do you fire that person for that reason? See, it becomes who determines what's hateful and what's not hateful, and who determines who's offended and who's not offended.
Right, exactly. Are the coworkers alienated, or are you losing customers based on?
I doubt if any customers saw that post. I really do. Until someone pulled it out, took a screenshot of it, and sent it around. For real.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem is not with the firing. The problem is with who determines what's hateful. That's where the problem comes in. And as a company, I don't want to dictate what's hateful to some and not hateful to all. Because if someone posts something about religion, the Christians may be mad, but people that are atheists may say there's no problem with it. Now who determines whether that person should be fired or not?
Okay.
Great call, Tim. Great call, my friend. Thank you. Yeah. So I want to talk about this. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. O-U-R-A ring. Deborah Green, do you know how to, am I pronouncing it Aura? Aura Ring?
I think it's Aura, yeah.
Aura Ring. Aura Health Oil. They're the owners of the Aura Ring, right? Interesting story. So this ring tracks sleep quality, heart rate, and menstrual cycles. Well, okay, leave that alone. But it's poised to become an $11 billion company. They're raising a bunch of money, right? So they say that their company does not share your information if you wear one of these rings with the government or any private companies. But then they go on to say their biggest client is the Department of Defense. So clearly they're sharing, they have a partnership with the Department of Defense, which makes it easier to share. But then they say their contract is with the Department of Defense through Palantir. Palantir is a data analytics firm. All they do is share data. So how do you have a partnership with a data analytics firm, and then you're telling me, oh, we're our ring, but don't worry, we won't share your information? Crazy. Man, these people, and they say it. They're so honest about it. Oh, we don't share your information, but we're partnered up with the largest data analytics company in the world. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Allow me to brag for a second. Over the weekend, I defeated not one, but two of my bosses in fantasy football. Sorry, Ken. Sorry, Chris. Now, I'm sure they're football aficionados, but you can't consider yourself to be a football aficionado unless your home is equipped with Xfinity. That's what I have at my house, and it really enhances your fandom. If you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. I've got all the best games all in one place, plus enhanced 4K, so it feels like I am actually in the stadium. And don't get me started with the Xfinity Sports app. In-game stats, highlights, analysis. If you are a true football fan, you make sure you up your game from my friends at Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com or drop into Xfinity store today where the Wi-Fi is booming. Some restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Online at Xfinity.com.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our easy trade-up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Want to save 1,000 bones on your next roof? Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Right now, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. FindlayRoofing.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Let's start with this morning. We have new local reaction after the White House says that it has identified a possible link between Tylenol and autism rates.
Federal officials say expecting mothers shouldn't take Tylenol while pregnant, saying the medicine's active ingredient could increase the risk of autism. But Dr. Danielle Fallon, Dean of Public Health at Emory University, says there's also evidence that high fever during pregnancy can increase the risk of developing the disorder.
Women who are in pregnancy experiencing fever absolutely should be working with their care provider to figure out the best way to treat fever. And right now, that tool is acetaminophen.
She says she believes it's dangerous to make premature recommendations. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Austin. So your weather for today, partly cloudy and isolated pop-up rain showers possible. Highs right there around 90 degrees, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Well, you've been hearing Shelley talk about this morning. NAACP leaders are now calling for more action from school officials after white fans attended a Whitewater High School volleyball game with black paint on their face and bodies. State Representative Derek Jackson says though the paint was intended to show team spirit as part of a blackout theme, it's still not okay.
In a school where our babies go there to learn, when our families go to a volleyball game for entertainment, they shouldn't be faced with this.
Now, some are asking for the students involved to face disciplinary measures, and leaders want the school district to revise its code of conduct. NAACP leaders have spoken to the superintendent and have a follow-up meeting set for tomorrow. The mayor of South Fulton due in court this hour for a bond plea and arraignment hearing in his criminal trespassing case. Prosecutors accused Khalid Komau of entering a home on Cascade Palmetto Highway without permission in July of 2023. He told police at the time he was looking at the house because he thought he might want to buy it. The criminal trespassing charges against Komau, also who goes by the name Mayor Kobe, is a misdemeanor. If convicted, he could face a year in jail or a fine. Residents in portion of Fulton and Cherokee County returning to the polls today to determine who's going to represent District 21 in the state Senate.
The seat was vacated by Brandon Beach, who took the job as U.S. Treasurer, and no one got more than 50% of the vote during the special election last month. So the top two vote-getters then, Republican Jason Dickerson and Democrat Deborah Shigley, are duking it out for that seat. Shigley received nearly 40% of the vote in the August election, and that's garnered a great deal of interest as many Democrats, including the chair of the DNC, who was campaigning on her behalf over the weekend, believe she has a chance to flip the traditionally red seat in that district. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Toyota's recalling nearly 600,000 vehicles this morning. A number of models included in this recall, like Corolla, Highlander, RAV4, also Lexus LS, RX, and TX. The recall was issued because of a faulty dashboard panel. The automaker saying that Toyota and Lexus dealers will inspect and update programming for all of the vehicles involved in this recall, and they'll replace the faulty parts that could be the cause of this malfunction. Customers impacted by the recall will be notified by Toyota, they say, by mid-November. Now your money. You want to get an idea of just what the economy is doing? All you have to do is look at what folks are buying at the grocery store, says Jim Ryan.
Most food companies are watching their sales decline. Not so for beans, rice, canned tuna, and boxes of macaroni and cheese, according to the research firm Circana. Hamburger Helper is seeing a resurgence in popularity among budget-minded consumers, despite a broader public move away from processed foods.
All right, let's take a look at the markets right now. The Dow is in the green, so is the S&P. NASDAQ, though, in negative territory. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. For that, we turn to Smile and Mark McKay to get a check of the roads.
Thanks, Sabrina. It's the time of morning where construction starts to slow down the roll, and we're seeing that right now in Kennesaw. I-75 northbound. Got construction in the right lane at Chastain Road, exit 271. Those delays begin back at the 575 merge. 400 recovering between Alpharette and Roswell. Your 85 delays are still in place, but easing up out of Duluth and the Norcross. Traffic Trooper Kelly says be on the lookout for a crash. He just spotted it 85 southbound in DeKalb County, right at I-285 on the right shoulder. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy skies today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Trending hotter tomorrow with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers for Thursday, high 79.
It is 72 degrees in Beaufort, 74 in Villa Rica. Johns Creek, you have 73 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram as he is observing Rosh Hashanah today. He'll return tomorrow, so you have me till 12 noon. I'll be giving you the 5K a day bonus blitz word in a few minutes, so please stay tuned. I want to take a couple minutes, if you don't mind, to talk about, I know I listen to Mark every morning. I listen to the station all day, every day, and I'm on, for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm on every night, 7 to 9 p.m. On this great station, every weeknight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and I'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. And I listened to Mark yesterday morning, and I know he talked about Charlie Kirk and the memorial, and I don't want to belabor that point, right, because I think we're winding down on Charlie Kirk as a topic or content for radio. But I do, one thing, I talked about it last night on my show, and I want to bring it back up again here because it's a different audience, and many of you did not hear it last night. And it's something that I'm about to say that I have not really heard from many people, if anyone at all. One of the things about, so yesterday, one thing you need to know, so let me start from the beginning. On my show, I've asked over the last several months, I've asked my listeners to invite me to their church, right? And many have, and I've been to many churches over the last about 2 months. This past Sunday, I visited St. Clair Assisi Catholic Church in Ackworth, right? So, so if you're listening to me, Shelley.Winter, SHELLEY.Winter, WYNTER at CMG.com. That's the email. You can just invite me to your church. The only two things that I say to everyone is, please don't make a big deal about it. Don't let your pastor know. I don't want to shout out or anything. And the second thing is, please keep it within the metro area. I don't want to have to drive an hour and a half to go to church because I'll be less likely to go in the morning when I wake up on Sunday morning, right? So this past Sunday I went to Catholic church, and it was a great word by the father. And then I came home, put on football, muted the football game on my television, and then watched the memorial service streamed live. And one of the things that struck me, right, it wasn't that the entirety of the administration spoke from the president on down. It wasn't the powerful message of Mrs. Erica Kirk, where she said she forgave the young man who killed her husband and the father of her children. That was powerful. But it did not really, it moved me, but it wasn't the big thing for me personally. You know what the big thing for me personally, and I think it's something that we need to talk more about, is that everyone at that memorial service talked about returning back to God. That's a message for us all. Now, we celebrate Rosh Hashanah today, or those who celebrate, my Jewish friends and brothers and sisters who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah. It doesn't matter your faith tradition. God is God for you. So obviously, to this past memorial service, they were talking about the God as the Christians believe. But God is God. For me, the Jewish God, the Muslim, the Islamic God, your God, your personal relationship, who you trust, put your faith and trust in. We need to return to that as a country, as a world especially, but as a country. And what was powerful to me, that this message was given by speaker after speaker after speaker. And the whole world was watching. The whole country was watching. Obviously not everybody, but the country was watching. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people were watching it being streamed. And this is documented. We can see the numbers. And so I think it's an important message that we need to continue to spread. Let's go back to basics. Let's go back to God. Let's go back to treating people with love and respect. Let's really start to internalize what it means to be a believer in whatever the faith tradition that you may have. Because God is the God of love. Erica Kirk said that. And that's throughout any faith tradition. There's love with God. He is love. Whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever, he's the God of love. He's the God of understanding. He's the God of love. And if we have love, then hate doesn't proliferate. Hate doesn't grow. Where there's love, there can't be any hate. But where there's an absence of love, you will have hate grow. And how do we suppress hate? We give more love. We forgive. We can disagree and still love. How many of you out there are married for many, many years? You disagree with your spouse. You don't not love them anymore. It doesn't matter what the disagreement is. Could be over money, could be over many things, could be how to raise the children. You still love the person. If we can bring love back into this country, it will solve a lot of problems. But we've gone down this road where we call each other despicable names. And it's not one side or the other. I truly believe this because I see it all the time. I get called names by Democrats because I'm conservative. I sometimes get called names by conservatives when they disagree with me. I get called names by African Americans. I get called names by non-African Americans. Why do we do that? Over opinions? I'm not out here. I don't hurt anybody. Never killed anybody. So why the hateful language to people over their opinions? But if God is there, if you have God in your life, no matter your faith tradition, you're less apt to do that. You're more apt to just ignore it. You're more likely to just skip over it. Or you're more likely, if you were to engage with someone who disagreed with your or opinion, you're more likely to engage nicely. Hey, I disagree, and here's why. And the name calling never starts because you have love. And I really think that was the big thing that was missing for me, in my humble opinion, from Sunday's memorial service for Charlie Kirk. Now, as a conservative, under normal circumstances, I would have a huge problem with my president, my vice president, the secretary of state, all these government officials, top advisors, talking and quoting scripture. I would have a huge problem with that. But in this day and age, with things really being dark, random murders, school shootings, mass shootings, murder of Charlie Kirk, all of these things happening, our world is turning very dark. So I didn't mind it as much. As a matter of fact, I welcomed it. We need to bring God back. We need to bring him back into our schools. We need to bring him back into prayer. And if you want to have a school prayer at your school, kids that are not Christian, they may be another faith tradition, let them pray in their faith tradition. But we should never have wiped it out. Because I think a lot of our problems, particularly with our young people, can if you do a timeline, we'll go back to when we took prayer out of school, when we literally took God out of school, which if God is love, we took love out of school, and we took love away from our young people. You can disagree with somebody, but you don't have to call them names, and you certainly don't have to hate them because of who they voted for or didn't vote for. That's my message. I hate to draw it out, but now, big thing, 10 a.m., you know what that means. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. The 10 a.m. keyword is smile. Smile. The 10 a.m. keyword is smile. S-M-I-L-E. Smile. The 10 a.m. keyword is smile. Enter the keyword smile into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. The keyword is smile. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword and win $1,000. The keyword again is smile, S-M-I-L-E. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 a.m. from a number you don't recognize, answer it. It could be us telling you you won $1,000. Again, the keyword, the 10 a.m. keyword is smile, S-M-I-L-E. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck. So I talked about Charlie Kirk, and it's probably the last I'll talk about it unless new news comes out. But I did want to get that message out there because I think it's an important one. This weekend, I really got closer and started to focus more. I've always been a churchgoer. Not, I'm a Christmas, Easter guy, right? But I'm a believer, right? I call myself a recovering sinner, right? But this weekend I really realized that, you know what, Shelley, you're getting older, one, which is usually when we get closer to God, when we get older, because we're closer to the end than we are the beginning. But I also realized that, Shelley, there's an emptiness in your life. You have the job of your dreams. You have the woman of your dreams, but you still sometimes you feel empty. Why is that? Because you don't have a good enough relationship with your personal God, with your God, the person you were raised with. I went to church every Sunday until I went off to college. First, my mom got me dressed, and I got dressed on my own, and I was involved in my church. I was elected as a deacon in my church. Be honest, my grandfather was always mad at me. Let me tell you a little quick story, Longoria and Deborah Green and Vinny. I needed something I was filling out college applications as a junior in high school. And I realized I had no extracurricular activities except sports because I played sports. I played 3 sports. So my time was taken up with, I played football, basketball, and baseball in high school. Shout out to Riverdale Indians. They changed the name, but it's the Riverdale Indians. They went woke and changed the name, but we're not going to get into that. But I played 3 sports. So when I was filling out my applications, I had sports down, but they're like, well, what other extracurricular activities did you do? And I realized I had none. I played sports, and that was it. Came home. And so I ran for deacon of my church, and I was elected the youngest deacon ever. My grandfather pulled me to the side when I said I was running, and I threw my hat in the ring as a candidate, and it was pretty easy. My church was not a big church, so it was like everybody raised their hand. Yay, Shelley, we watched him grow up. This is wonderful. He's a godly man. And my grandfather pulled me to the side because he called me on my stuff. He said, you're not doing this because you want to be a deacon and help the church. You're doing this because you need something to put on your application for college. And I said to him, me being the naive guy that I was as a teenager, high school senior, I said, well, what's wrong with that, Papa? I'll be coming to the meetings. And he knew more than I did because I came to the first couple meetings. When I got into Syracuse, I stopped going to the meetings. And he was absolutely right. But my point of telling that story is not to make fun of myself necessarily or to tell you how brilliant my grandfather was. The point of telling you that story is that I've always been involved in church. I always went to church. And as I became a young adult and started living my own life by my own rules, I went away from church. And now I'm returning home. And part of me returning home to church is that memorial service on Sunday and also this church visitation that I'm doing with my listeners, because it forces me every Sunday, even if I don't feel like it, to say, well, I made a promise to a listener, I better go to church. We need to return back to the basics. And what that means for you and me, what it means for me, it means going back to God. And I hope that means it means the same thing for you. 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aaron. When we come back, I want to talk about Roblox. You know that game? The dangerous game for our kids? There's a lawsuit. We'll talk about that next. Let's go check traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
Watching construction roll literally in the left lanes, Shelley, on the outer loop between Clarkston and Tucker. Crews working up the east side perimeter doing their work along that shoulder. They've taken out 2 left lanes, so it's a travel advisory on 285 North. Their work is being done around the Stone Mountain Freeway, exit 39, and the delay is starting to fill in back behind it as you leave Covington Highway. Trying to work your way through Cobb County and Marietta. You're doing fine until you just get up to the North Loop and Highway 5 region up ahead in Kennesaw. It's right lane construction on I-75 northbound near Chastain Road, exit 271. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. Blindster.com is a family business making custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Give them a try and see why over 1 million windows have trusted Blindster. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
You don't have to put up with it.
Shutting down the ramp from 285 East.
You don't have to sit in it. It takes almost 30 minutes to go 400 south.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do best.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
Updated traffic as often as you need it from local traffic reporters 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's a jackknife tractor trailer.
Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
Hey, friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof online at drroof.com.
Do you have an unused vehicle sitting in your driveway? Imagine turning it into a new beginning. When you donate your car, truck, or van to Tommy Nobis Center, you're helping people with disabilities get the training and support they need to enter the workforce and build successful careers. Your vehicle donation fuels real change, giving people a chance to achieve independence and purpose. And it's easy. We'll handle everything from pickup to paperwork. Plus, it's tax deductible. Donate today at TommyNobisCenter.org. Make a difference, one vehicle at a time.
That was thousands of miles being added to your private radio network. With Southern Link, connect your private LMR radio system to Critical Link, our mission-critical LTE network, so you can communicate more easily with more people when the situation demands. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our interworking solutions, mission-critical push-to-talk, and LTE voice and data services. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show for Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Looking for a new truck and looking for a great deal? Of course you are. Well, I have a great deal on the Tundra for you, and the only place you're going to find it, the only place you're going to hear about it is right here. Go to beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals and save money on your new Toyota Tundra. It's that easy. beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming is the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. In a perfect world, when you have a plumbing issue, you want a plumber that answers the phone when you call, shows up on time, respects your home, and tells you exactly what needs to be done, quotes you a price, and does the job right the first time. They appreciate your business, and Superior Plumbing becomes your plumber for life. Call Superior Plumbing to come fix your plumbing issues.
To Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so who you work with matters. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate are the most experienced real estate team in the U.S., and you can trust them to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed cash offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here till noon, and then I'm back again tonight at 7 p.m. So stick with this great station all day long. Before I get to the story of Roblox, I don't know if all of you are familiar with this game. I'm a bonus dad to a little one who plays Roblox, and this is a dangerous game, and I do want to talk about it. But something else I want to bring up, because it's a shorter segment, so I'll bring up the Roblox in the next segment, is there's a special election today. Polls opened at 7 o'clock. Republican Jason Dickinson versus Deborah Shigley. The Democrats, a special election to fill the seat of Brandon Beach, good friend of mine who went off to work for the administration. And this is going to be a interesting election. This past weekend, Ken Martin, for those of you who don't know, Ken Martin is the chair of the Democrat National Committee, the DNC, right? He's the chair. He's like the head of all the Democrats in the country. He was here this weekend knocking on doors for Deborah Shigley, which tells you how the Democrats view this race, a special election, which is a heavily red district. Brandon Beach has won it. Last time he won it, I think he won it with 73% of the vote. It's parts of North Fulton and also Cherokee County. Record turnout in early voting, right, which started a couple weeks ago, record turnout. And what I'm reading is much of the turnout has been from what people who would normally vote Republican. So Republicans are feeling fairly good about the turnout. Now, what I'm here to tell you is that Republicans that are listening to me right now, if you live in this district, you need to go vote today if you haven't already, because this race has been under the radar. But it hasn't been under the radar by Democrats. Jeff Duncan, who's the former Republican now running for governor as a Democrat, he was knocking on doors with Deborah Shigley this weekend. So the Republican running is Jason Dickinson. Please get out there and vote, my Republican listeners. And good luck to both candidates. We'll have an answer this evening. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back.
Join renowned astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson for This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe, at the Fox Theater Sunday, October 5th at 4 p.m. The title says it all. Join Neil deGrasse Tyson as he explores discoveries from the past 2 or 3 years of cosmic research, with topics handpicked for their impact on science and the public's fascination with this ever-moving frontier. Don't miss This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe, with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Sunday, October 5th. Tickets available at foxtheater.org.
If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to kick those critters out. With the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if they return, you're covered at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Guys, do you look in the mirror and get a little bummed every morning when you wake up and get ready to go for work and be like, oh, my hairline keeps receding and receding, or oh, my bald spot keeps growing and growing, or oh, my goodness, my hair keeps getting thinner and thinner? Stop what you're doing. I'm about to change the dynamics of your dome. Actually, my friends at Advanced Hair are going to change the dynamics on your dome. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Advanced Hair, amazing treatment, helps regrow your hair where it's currently gone. So, receding hairline, they got that covered. Bald spot, they got that covered. Thinning hair, they got that covered as well. Your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, guaranteed to grow for life. If you want your hair back, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first you're going to need a free consultation, guys. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results online, advancedhair.com.
At Shane Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If you have a leaning brick porch, an uneven concrete driveway, a pool deck covered in cracks, or an uneven sidewalk you could trip over, you should get AquaGuard to come out and help you. Schedule a free visit today at aquaguard.net. Remember, AquaGuard.
Having trouble getting in to see the doctor? Wait no longer. All Care is here. All Care is expert immediate care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs at 15 Atlanta area locations. And best of all, we are fully staffed and ready for you when you need us. Same-day appointments are available and walk-ins are welcomed. Or schedule an appointment at allcare-ga.com. Say goodbye to waiting to see the doctor and say hello to All Care, a proud member of the Piedmont Integrated Network Clinic.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. Our top story is happening right now. President Trump addressing the United Nations General Assembly in New York.
A dramatically better future is within our reach. But to get there, we must reject the failed approaches of the past and work together to confront some of the greatest threats in history.
And President Trump says the guns of war, though, have shattered peace since he last addressed the United Nations.
6 years have passed since I last stood in this grand hall and addressed a world that was prosperous and at peace in my first term.
Now, he touted successes from the first 8 months of his second term. They included deals and economic successes that he said have once again proved that the U.S. is the best country to do business with. He also pointed to deals to end 7 conflicts around the world he helped make since returning to office. The president went on to say that he did not receive any help from the UN in making those deals. All right, your weather for today. It's going to be partly cloudy and isolated pop-up rain showers possible and a high right there around 90, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Well, following the news that federal health officials have linked autism to Tylenol, Dr. Danielle Fallon, Dean of Public Health at Emory University here in Atlanta, tells WSB the recommendations against the use of the drug are being made prematurely. We ask her if there are studies, though, that back up this move.
Well, we have studies in both directions. So there are large studies that see an association between acetaminophen use in pregnancy and autism. There are also large studies that don't see an association between the two. And those studies that don't see the link are more recent and more rigorous than the previous research.
So she says right now it would be premature to declare that acetaminophen is a cause of autism. A photo of a group of white fans with their faces and bodies painted black during a high school volleyball game in Fayette County drawing sharp criticism.
The fans were attending a so-called blackout game at Whitewater High School. Fayette County NAACP Vice President Quentin Pullen says the spirit of the theme clearly was not followed.
Blackout just simply means wearing black, not on your face, because that in itself is offensive.
The photo shows fans with black paint on their faces and bodies.
I was alarmed. I'm trying to figure out why.
State Rep Derek Jackson is calling for more action, perhaps discipline against the students. The school system condemns the incident and will meet with NAACP leaders Wednesday. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
All right, let's talk about your health and your money. High tariffs on imports from India putting cheap supplies from the nation's drug makers at risk.
India is often dubbed the pharmacy of the world, but President Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs as high as 250% is raising questions about whether the cheap drug imports will continue. Data from the healthcare analytics firm Symphony Health indicates that nearly 2/3 of all birth control pill prescriptions in the U.S. last year were made by just 2 India-based companies. Meanwhile, more than half of U.S. prescriptions for high blood pressure and depression were serviced by Indian drug makers. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
All right, so how are your investments working for you this morning? Well, the Dow's up 207, 46,589. The Dow's up almost 0.5%. The S&P and NASDAQ, though, are in negative territory. All right, we had 2 days of bad drives into the office. How's it looking out there now on the roads? Smile and Mark McKay will tell us from the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Oh, heading away from Marietta up to Kennesaw is rugged. Could be through the afternoon as we continue, Sabrina, watching right lane construction. It's active on I-75 northbound. You're Kennesaw State University, the Chastain Road exit 271. That's really slowing the roll now. Back before I-575. And crews have been in the left lane, rolling between Clarkston and Tucker during road work on that median on I-285 northbound at Highway 70. That's exit 39. That's why you're in the brake light battle leaving Covington Highway, rolling north toward I-85. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible this afternoon. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, trending hotter with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers on Thursday, high 79.
All right, we have 76 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online.
on the app,
Where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words. 5 times a day. Every weekday.
Oh, my word.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. Coming up in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show, Scott Slade joins me. We're going to talk about what he thinks Jimmy Kimmel's monologue will be tonight, and we'll also talk a little bit about Trump's speech at the UN this morning. That's coming up next on the Mark Arum Show.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show on October 4th and 5th at the Gas South Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source, October 4th and 5th at the Gas South Convention Center. Get tickets at atlantafranchiseshow.com.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Homeowners, are your windows and doors sticking, or you notice cracks in the drywall? You might have a big problem. Serious issues need the serious experts at Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Go to ESOGrepair.com.
Dial 678 ESOG now.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum until 12 noon. My little brother's observing Rosh Hashanah today. He'll return tomorrow. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'll be back tonight at 7. As a matter of fact, Longoria, when I leave here, I'm headed to, guess where?
A movie theater.
No.
You always go see a movie theater.
No, Golden Corral.
Oh.
There's nothing out there to see right now but Golden Corral. Headed to
Corral.
Golden Corral.
Okay.
Senior discount, $12 with a drink.
Okay. You know you can get to go and bring it back for me later for lunch.
Oh, no, they charge by the weight when you get it to go. It's
Yeah.
much more expensive.
That is true.
On Access with me is Scott Slade. Scott, you there?
Hey, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. Wonderful job this morning on Atlanta's Morning News. Want to start with Jimmy Kimmel. He's back tonight. I started the show telling my thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel. He's going to be back on tonight. Your thoughts?
Well, I think he needs to do three things, you know, and this is just what I think, all right? First of all, I think he does need to address the controversy. He doesn't need to ignore it. So, he should come, and maybe he will, come out palms up, admit his timing on his Charlie Kirk comments were off. Now, that doesn't mean he apologizes for them.
Right.
But maybe he admits that, wait a minute, what's the old, and I hate to say it this way, but it's time and tragedy, right?
Right.
It's
Too
the
soon,
formula
as we
for
say.
comedy.
Too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So palms up. Number 2, commit to speaking his truth to power in the future, which will, make his loyal audience happy.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, talk about finding a way to cover both sides of a story. While he is not a journalist, I'm a firm believer that late night monologues are just like newscasts. Now, back in the day when I was hosting Atlanta's Morning News every day, I would either get Leno or I'd get Colbert's commentary or I'd get Kimmel's commentary as part of my show prep, and not the written part, but the actual audio.
Right.
So I'd listen to it on a thumb drive in the car on the way in. So yeah, those 3 things, and realize that the FCC had made some noise about going after ABC to do this. The FCC doesn't license networks; they license individual stations.
Right.
Because the individual stations use the public airwaves, and because it's a public resource, it gives the FCC the mandate to do what they do. So I think that Brendan Carr has moderated some of his comments that he made right after this controversy began. And, maybe with iron sharpening iron here, maybe we'll wind up with a better system, across the board. And maybe we'll wind up even with some higher ratings for these late night shows. They're expensive to do, aren't they? And
Right.
Colbert found that out, right? He's
Absolutely.
not going to be on the air after
Do you
this
think now? So we're of the same generation, Scott. Do you think that the late night shows and it's only during the age of Trump that we've seen this, because even with Obama, when he was in office, many of the late night comedians said they stayed away from making fun of the president because they didn't want to appear to be racist, which was crazy to me because you're a comedian. You should be able to make jokes about anybody. And so they went away from making fun of Obama because they were afraid of the backlash that may or may not come. Now they double down on Trump every night. Do you really think that he's going to say that, hey, I'm going to go down both sides of the aisle? Do you think that's part of the discussions that he had with Disney?
Could be. I mean, I don't know. There's very little that's known about his talks with his bosses. In fact, Kimmel hasn't even publicly said anything about any of this.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
nothing.
true.
Nothing. So again, that's my thinking. That's what. Excuse me. That's if he wants to move forward, that might be one of the ways to do it. And let's face it, this is still the old model. Back when we only had 3 channels, right?
Right.
We depended on these late night shows, and now you've got 300 channels, and you've got all the streaming, and I don't know. These guys may even have a bigger audience in little sound bites that they put up on X and TikTok. For all I know, they have a much bigger audience there, or at least a bigger potential for audience than they do on the networks.
Absolutely, and that's how many of us find out what they said the night before. Most of us do not see it live. I don't know, and this, I don't know if you got a chance to hear any of Trump's speech to the UN. If you did he mention the recognition of Palestine by some of the European countries?
Well, he's been kind of walking around that. I've been listening. He started, I guess, about 10 minutes after 10, and I've been trying to monitor it. You want to hear some sound? I pulled some sound.
Oh, absolutely, my friend.
Yeah. Here's what he had to say about Palestine, and this is his speech to the UN just a few minutes ago, President Trump.
As everyone knows, I have also been deeply engaged in seeking a ceasefire in Gaza. Have to get that done. Have to get it done. Unfortunately, Hamas has repeatedly rejected reasonable offers to make peace. We can't forget October 7th, can we? Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. The rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be a reward for these horrible atrocities.
So that's news right there.
That is news, yep.
Yeah, that is news. A little bit more here.
Including October 7th, even while they refuse to release the hostages or accept a ceasefire. Instead of giving to Hamas and giving so much, because they've taken so much, this could have been solved so long ago. But instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Just release the hostages now.
Again, he may have said how to get there for all this. Shelley, we were under a deadline here to be able to talk to you about that this morning. But yeah, the Palestinian state sounds like that's not on his agenda.
Well, here's what I find interesting. He said it's a reward for Hamas to recognize the Palestinian state, but he did not say he was against the recognition of a Palestinian state, or two states, which would be a two-state solution. I hear him. I kind of hear him saying, "Hey, doing this now, you're rewarding bad behavior." You know, but at some point, he doesn't go on. I'm speculating here, but he doesn't go on to say that there is not, it should never be a recognition of a Palestinian state. That's what I read into it.
Well, you might be right. You might be right.
Because if he was against it, he would definitely say it. You know. And I think his pushback is, hey, you're doing this right now. We're trying to get these guys to the table to negotiate. You don't do that by rewarding them.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, he it sounds like he did draw a line there. So
absolutely, that is breaking news. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Scott, excuse me. I want to talk to you. I've known you a long time. You know, I'm a huge fan since the very day I got here. Huge fan of yours and the work that you've done over the years. I do want to ask this question, and this is more just out of curiosity as a journalist. What did you think of the memorial service this past Sunday for Charlie Kirk? Do you think it was over the top? Do you think it was good? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, mixed feelings. A lot of it I thought was appropriate and needed to be said. Of course, Erica Kirk was amazing. But on the other side of that, I mean, whose decision was it to run pyrotechnics on the stage as the widow of the slain Charlie Kirk was walking out? I mean, what was that? I mean, that's
you know what I did?
Gaudy. It's gaudy.
You're right. I never thought of that. You're absolutely right. And you know what? I saw the pyrotechnics. I saw a still shot of it, but I didn't realize it was when she was coming out. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a memorial service. What are we excited about? And especially as the widow is about to speak. Well done. Well done.
Well, that and and there were a lot of political statements as well that you could take or leave. But it went on. How long was it, by the way? I never got a feel
almost
for
5
how
hours.
long.
I think they said.
5 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I admire you for the way you could dig in. In the comments that you made earlier about the Fayette County situation at the volleyball game earlier this morning, I hope you'll repeat that again before you leave the air today.
Oh, okay. Well, Scott Slade said I should repeat it. I'll just clip it and we'll replay it. Scott Slade said it. Deborah Green, you hear that, Deborah Green?
You could go to the Golden Corral early.
Yes, sir. God bless you, Scott. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And thank you so very much for joining the Mark Arum Show as I filled in. I appreciate you very much, sir.
Oh, listen, it's my pleasure. It's always good to visit with you. Let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I'm on 7 to 9. You're always welcome.
Okay, well, thanks. And I hope I'm not too naive about what Kimmel should do. We'll see what happens tonight. That's going to be interesting covering that tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, I don't think you're wrong. There's a part of me that says he should leave it alone, but then there's a part of me that says, no, you have to address the elephant in the room. It's better to address the elephant in the room because you'll be called a coward by his supporters if you don't address it in some way. So I think you're right on the money.
He will have one of the biggest audiences that he's had in years tonight.
Absolutely. And then they'll all be gone on Wednesday.
Could be.
Talk to you soon, Scott. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you as always, my friend.
You too, Shelley. Take care.
Bye-bye. Love that guy. One of the kindest guys you'll ever meet, right? Like, to be a legend, right? To be a Hall of Famer, to be who he is, just one of the nicest, humblest guys you'll ever meet. We'll be right back. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. Let's go check traffic with smiling Mark McKay.
Thank you, Shelley. We're watching that construction slow down. 2 spots in DeKalb County today. Left lane's knocked out. I-20 eastbound Panola Road, exit 71. So slow heading out toward Lithonia and Stonecrest. And it's been rolling construction in DeKalb on the outer loop in Clarkston. Crews working out of that left lane and rolling up that east side perimeter, approaching Highway 78, exit 39. Right lane construction is what's slowing the ride out of Marietta into Kennesaw this morning. That's the 75 northbound road work at Chastain Road, exit 71. On the brakes pretty hard now, back before Highway 5. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Reach-in closets, walk-in closets, pantry spaces, garages. With a custom spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. All your stuff neatly organized and designed to stay that way. Call the Closet Bomb Squad, Artisan Custom Closets. They'll diffuse your clutter and make it safe to enter your closet again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me, I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so Yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. I'm here till noon. Mark is observing Rosh Hashanah today. He'll be back tomorrow, which I kind of don't understand because Rosh Hashanah ends tomorrow night at sundown. But it's all good. If Mark and Deborah Green, if you need me back tomorrow morning, I'm available. But I'm Shelley Winter. I normally air every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and I'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. After I get off the air at noon. I'm going to Golden Corral. I go to the Cobb Parkway Golden Corral, so anybody wants to join me for lunch, meet me there.
Brave telling everybody where you're going.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's what everyone tells me. But this is who I am. I've been like this my whole. Even when I wasn't on the radio, I'm this type of guy. I'm very transparent. Like if someone wanted to get me, they'd have got me a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like even before radio. And I'm pretty transparent with who I am and where I go. I've been in clubs, festivals, partying around, dancing around. Someone could have, jacked me up right then and there. And if you're going to get,
I feel like if someone were coming to get you, you'd be able to talk them down. You'd be like, okay, let's not talk about that. Let's have a drink. Let's go dance. Let's go do something else.
So you bring up a great point. I've never had a fight in my life because of that. I've never fought in my life because when I've been in situations where a fight was going to, I've just started running my mouth and everything cooled down.
And then they're like, I don't want to hear this guy anymore.
That's pretty much it, or you know what? I mean, really, I've never thrown a punch in my life. Wow. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is what it is. The mother of a 9-year-old is suing Microsoft and the makers of games like Fortnite, Roblox, and Minecraft. She claims that the games are addictive and there's no safety features to prevent it. Her lawyer says it's about keeping companies, quote, accountable, end quote. The lawsuit claims that her child isn't socializing and has withdrawal symptoms like rage and anger when the games are taken away. The mom is seeking. This is the big part of the story. Guess how much she's seeking?
I'm sure millions of dollars.
$75,000.
Oh, that's not.
$75,000 she's seeking.
That's less than I thought.
I think what she's trying to do is make the point, and it's true. I've been around these kids with this Roblox thing. You take the iPad from them, there is a bit of almost like heroin addicts.
Yeah, but that's with anything with the phone, I think.
So go ahead and say that.
I think that's with anything with the phone.
With the kids.
Yeah.
Because if you took my phone while I'm on social media, I'd get upset too.
Right. But it's all about balance, right? Like you have to have, that's on. I wouldn't say it's on her, but it's on the parent to police that,
right?
And to know when it's a little bit too much. I know when my daughters have been on their devices too long. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, with my youngest daughter, she left her phone outside one night. She doesn't have it for a month now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
do your daughters play Roblox?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen? Because I don't like it when the little one plays Roblox. I'm always over her shoulder because there's stuff about it that I don't like, and I've heard crazy stories about different
there's a lot
portals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but usually they play with some of the neighborhood kids. So
that's how she gets around it. She says she's playing with her friend
and
from
sometimes
school.
They all come to one house and play with each other in the same room on different devices. So
I just heard
we watch them every once, and make sure that they're everything's good.
Right. Yeah, but you've got to. I think you're to everything about children and raising children, particularly in our advanced technological world. It's about parent involvement. Without parent involvement, you will run into
you got to be a part of their lives, man.
Absolutely. Well said, Dad. Dad of the Year, Longoria. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. We will be right back. Coming up next, I want to talk about Laura Loomer's post about Jasmine Crockett and tell you why I all of a sudden agree with people being fired for social media posts.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Your friends at Steel Horse Law are motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. They've mastered safely riding our Georgia roads, and they've mastered the unexpected twists and turns of Georgia law. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. With all the changes in Georgia law, you need the most experienced local motorcycle injury law firm to protect your rights. You can trust them on the road and in the courtroom. Get a free case evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Linda Beaver here. Summer may be over, but the deals are just heating up. Time to get to Beaver Toyota of Cumming because your car is here, your price is right, and it's time to drive. Low monthly payments, top dollar for your trade, 600 plus cars to choose from. We really do have a deal for everyone. And only here you get Beaver benefits with perks like lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, complimentary car washes, and loaners whenever you need them. Your deal's waiting, your car's ready. Visit BeaverToyotaCumming.com. Don't wait another minute.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Let's start in New York. The 80th UN General Assembly underway now. That's the sound of protesters taking to the streets this morning ahead of Trump's speech, holding signs that say arrest Trump and reject Trump. Multiple arrests were made this morning. And the president criticized the United Nations in his speech, saying that it's empty words and empty words don't solve wars. He says he's ended 7 wars without the help of the UN.
And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
President Trump will have sideline talks with Ukraine and also leaders of Arab nations. The president is still speaking. And your weather for today, partly cloudy and isolated pop-up rain showers possible. Afternoon highs right there around 90. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. One local health official is reacting to word that federal health officials are linking Tylenol usage to autism.
The announcement suggests women should avoid taking Tylenol while pregnant. Dr. Danielle Fallon, Dean of Public Health at Emory University, says it's a mixed bag.
I do think it's healthy to have the attention being turned up. I think it is dangerous to then make recommendations prematurely.
She says while there are some studies that link Tylenol to the disorder,
there are also large studies that don't see an association between the two. And those studies that don't see the link are more recent and more rigorous.
Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
There's a new call this morning for more women to be screened for anxiety and depression before and after pregnancy. A study published in JAMA finds only 3 to 14% of women were screened for anxiety and depression, and 50 to 70% of women with symptoms of mental health disorders don't get a diagnosis. Women who do receive mental health services show faster reduction in depression symptoms. A photo of a group of white fans wearing black paint on their faces and bodies to a high school volleyball game is drawing sharp criticism from the Fayette County NAACP. Fans were asked to wear black for the blackout game at Whitewater High School, but State Representative Derek Jackson says the face paint is unacceptable.
This is not entertainment. This is not cute. This is not fun. Why would someone in 2025 do this, right?
Now, the school superintendent released a statement acknowledging the incident and says that it does not reflect the values of the school system or the community, but NAACP leaders want stronger action, including possible discipline for the students involved. Alpharetta kicks off a fundraising campaign for a city farm that serves the community.
Old Rucker Farm is already a success, says the city's Community Agriculture and Sustainability Services Manager, Amanda Maselli.
Showing people how food grows so they can have a deeper understanding of where their food comes from.
But she says an old farmhouse on the site needs some updating so they can turn it into an education center for classes for adults and kids year-round, no matter what the weather's doing. And they'll continue producing thousands of pounds of food each year for a local food bank.
It's a lot of food, and it's really beautiful.
The goal is to raise $650,000 by the end of this year. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It's 11:03. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams. He has a look at your roads.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Right now, not so good in the northwest part of town. It's that right lane construction once again today in Kennesaw, 75 northbound at Chastain Road, exit number 271. It is slowing the ride from Highway 5 in Marietta. Over into Cobb County, the rolling roadwork continues today in the left lane, 285 northbound. The outer loop between Clarkston and Tucker right now, they're right around Lawrenceville Highway, so that's why you're slow back to Memorial Drive. And left lane construction into Lithonia, I-20 eastbound past Panola Road, exit 71, causing a slow zone there as you approach the mall at Stonecrest. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy skies today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Trending hotter tomorrow with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers for Thursday, high 79.
It is 78 degrees right now in Marietta, 75 in Sugar Hill. In Milton, you have 77 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you. I stand alone. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. I normally air Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. I know I said I was going to Golden Corral when I left here. I realized I can't. You know why? Because if I go to all you can eat, I'll sleep and be sleepy and dragging when I come back for 7 o'clock. So it's just going to be a light salad for me at lunch, so I have my energy for tonight. But you can come back and hear me live tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you've never heard the Shelley Winter Show, please tune in. Check it out, or you're getting a taste of it now as I fill in for Mark. Mark is observing, a Rosh Hashanah today, and he'll be back tomorrow. I had a story I want to talk about, but this popped up in my feed while I've been on the air, so I'll move what I was going to talk about to the next segment. Laura Loomer, who, let me be clear. So for those of you who don't know, I'm conservative. I voted for Trump in 16, 20, and 24. I vote Republican 99% of the time. I voted for Democrats before in my life. That's not unheard of for me, but I'm conservative. But one of the conservatives, there's a few conservatives that I have no appetite for. And I hate the fact that they're on my side of the fence politically. And one of those people that I really, really detest, and let me tell you, as a child of God, I don't really hate people. My grandmother taught me this when I was growing up. I remember coming home from school one day and saying, I hate a kid. Something happened. I said, I hate that kid. And my grandmother pulled me to the side and says, you never hate anybody. That's what she told me when I was a young kid. So for me to say that I detest someone, it takes a lot. You have to be a evil, evil, evil human being. And Laura Loomer is that for me. I don't like that woman at all. And I hate the fact that she's on the same side of the political fence for me. And I will tell you, I can really like a candidate for office. What would turn me off to that candidate if they ever either retweeted her or had her speak at their rally. I would turn my back, walk away, and never vote for that person again in my life. She is a disgusting human being. She really is. And she makes it hard for people like me or anybody. She makes it hard for anybody who's a Republican to, have her on our team. We're teams, right? It's left and right teams. It's unfortunate, but it's where we are. But when you have a person like her or people like her, it becomes hard to talk about voting Republican sometime. Now, of course, there are detestable people, disgusting people on the left as well. But I really do believe, I don't hate anybody on the left like I dislike this woman, really. She is a despicable human being. Let me tell you what she tweeted out today, and this is her. This is her tweet. I mean, it's really disgusting what she wrote. This is what she said. She said on Twitter now, she didn't say it to a friend. She said it on Twitter. She said, "It hurts my heart that we have ghetto black B-words who hate America serving in Congress." And she's talking about Jasmine Crockett. And I thought to myself, why would you say something like that? First of all, she's not a ghetto black B-word. That's strong language, even from you, you disgusting human being. But how do you know why does she hate, in your mind, hate America? Because you disagree with her? What? I don't agree with Jasmine Crockett, but I don't think she hates America. She may think America has issues. She may think America's flawed. She may think that America needs to work on some things, particularly around race relations, but it doesn't mean she hates America. But it's the ghetto black B word for me also. Why would you call somebody that? And why would you think that's helpful? Seriously, why would you think that was helpful to tweet out? Are you devoid of attention that much that you need it that badly that you would tweet something like that? And now I want to talk to people who still believe that you should be vilified and fired from your job for tweeting vile and disgusting things. Why are we not calling for Donald Trump, President Trump, whom I voted for, whom I met personally 3 times, who my intro to my show every night is Donald Trump saying you should listen to his show? I would like to tell the president, and I will send this screenshot to the administration, to my contacts in the administration, and say, please stop listening to this woman and divorce yourself from her and never allow her to come into the White House ever again. If, Mr. President, if Republicans, you believe that people should be fired from their jobs for the things they said after Charlie Kirk was murdered. If that's the road we're going to go down, then let's go down the road completely. Now, I don't believe people should be fired for their screenshots, for their posts on social media. I said that earlier in the show if you missed it. But if that's what you believe on the right or the left, but particularly the right, then shouldn't we get rid of this woman? Shouldn't we revoke her pass? Should she ever be allowed in the White House ever again? And if you do allow her in the White House ever again, if you do listen to Laura Loomer ever again on anything, should I not vote for those members of Congress or governor or any place in Georgia where you come down and endorse them? Should I tie you to her? Because that's the automatic response that I would do if you continue to talk to this woman. If you continue to have relations, meaning political and advisory capacity, with Laura Loomer, Mr. President, or the administration, or Stephen Miller, or any of you, then I will divorce myself. And anybody you endorse, I will say, not for me. Because I'll make the ties. I'll create the ties. And I'm saying this to those who say, this teacher should be fired because I don't want them teaching my children if they have these thoughts and feelings. Well, if you still are allowing yourself to be advised in any unofficial capacity by Laura Loomer, Mr. President, or anybody else on the Republican side, I would say I don't need to speak to you or vote for you anymore or support you anymore because she's a vile and disgusting human being. To say something like this on Twitter, it is just as nasty, it is just as disgusting as anything Ilhan Omar said about Charlie Kirk after he was murdered. It is just as vile, it is just as disgusting as anything a school teacher in Cobb County said about Charlie Kirk after his murder. And if you don't see it that way, then I have a problem with you as well. If you're going to defend her tweet, I have a problem with you. I don't care if you're on the same side of the fence as I am. And dare I say this to all my Republican candidates who are going to be running in 2026. You know, it'll go a long way with people like me. And not only people that look like me, but people on the Republican side. You know, it'll go a long way for a lot of us as voters is for you to say something about how disgusting Laura Loomer is and not be afraid of losing the quote-unquote base. Because if there's a base of voters on the Republican side that agree with Laura Loomer, I'm through with you all too. And if it makes me have to be through with the Republican Party, so be it. I can do that very, very, very easily. No one should be taking advice from a woman who would tweet out something as vile and disgusting about a member of Congress that says it hurts my heart that we have ghetto black B-words who hate America serving in Congress. This woman is a cancer to our country. Laura Loomer is. And anybody that can't see that, you're blinded. And you're not a Christian. And you're certainly, certainly, certainly not a patriot. You're probably more than likely a part of the problem that we have in our country today. Go away, Laura Loomer. Go far, far, far away. Because you have evil and darkness in your heart. And it's all around you. There is no light around you. She looks like Morticia from the Addams Family. And Morticia didn't look like that. Morticia was actually a beautiful woman, but she was made up to look a certain way. This woman looks like Morticia waking up in the morning. That should tell you everything else about the darkness surrounding Laura Loomer. And enough of that. That lady is disgusting. I want to talk about Judge Penny Reynolds. You guys familiar with Judge Penny Reynolds? She used to have the show, Judge Penny Show. She's one of these TV court judges. She's around Atlanta a lot. I've met her personally. I've probably got a selfie with her in my phone at some event that we're at. A beautiful, brilliant woman. She's just announced today that she's running for Secretary of State on the Democrat side. Right now, for Secretary of State, we have some very great candidates. I'm actually voting for Kelvin King for Secretary of State. I encourage you all to look at his website. He is my choice for Secretary of State on the Republican side and in the general election. But Judge Penny Reynolds is a fascinating person to announce that she's running, because up until this point, the only Democrat that announced they're running for Secretary of State is a little-known Democrat, I can't pronounce his name, Coruscant, little-known Democrat who announced a few months ago that he is running for Secretary of State, but there are no big names from the Democrat side for Secretary of State. She becomes a celebrity-type name running. She has huge name recognition, particularly amongst the base of Democrats, and she just threw her hat in a ring for Secretary of State on the Democrat side, which is going to be fascinating, and I encourage you all to follow her path. I don't think she's ever run for office. I think she ran for state judge before. I think she was a state judge before. But she's more famous. She's more known as a TV judge, and which gives her a huge amount of popularity amongst the base of the Democrat Party, particularly in Metro Atlanta. So she can easily get through a primary for Secretary of State. It's going to be very fascinating to watch that race. So she announced, I think last night or this morning, she announced that she's running for Secretary of State. Just Judge Penny Reynolds for Secretary of State on the Democrat side. When we come back, I want to talk about this Tylenol story. As some of you may or may not know, the president and Robert F. Kennedy talked last night during a press conference talking about Tylenol and the use of Tylenol by pregnant women, and it causes autism. This is what they said last night. Of course, the stock price for Tylenol, or the parent company of Tylenol, a company called Kenvue, went down a little bit. But I want to talk about all the reporting around their press conference in Tylenol for pregnant women. That will be coming up next. I'm Shelley Winter. I'm filling in for Mark Aram as he observes Rosh Hashanah today. He'll be back tomorrow. You can contact or comment on social media at WSB Radio or at Shelley Winter, SHELLEYWYNTER. And if you want to get a good look at my handsome face, you can watch live at WSBRadio.com. We will be right back. Let's go check traffic with my little brother, Alex Williams. Hey, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Shelley. Not so good on the west side perimeter. It's traffic pacing jamming you up. 285 southbound, the outer loop starting to slow right around the Chattahoochee River as you leave South Cobb Drive, getting down past Hollowell Parkway. Hopefully that will not take too long. Also, right lane construction in Kennesaw, 75 northbound up around Chastain Road, exit number 271. That is slowing the ride out of Marietta into Kennesaw. Traffic brought to you by Georgia United Credit Union. Dreaming of a home upgrade? A home equity line of credit from Georgia United can make it happen. Visit dreams.gucu.org today. Georgia United is an equal housing lender. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
That's awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
That's amazing.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Football season has arrived, and make sure you're comfortable for all of the big games. With Ragsdale, get up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system with Ragsdale's trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Not some third-party warranty. This is Ragsdale's own warranty. I've trusted them in my home for years. They're the only company I use for my heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. Find them online at ragsdaleair.com or give them a call. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Are you coming today? Are you not coming today? Hi, this is Candace from Excavations. Are you tired of having to chase your contractors around? If you're looking to remodel the outside of your home, then have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations. You'll know exactly when we're coming, when your project's going to be complete, and what you're paying for before you even start the project. Schedule your appointment today at exovations.com. EXOVATIONS.com.
Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. If you listen to my show each Saturday, we cover Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate related. So, whether you're buying your dream home or selling your current one, hiring the right agent is essential. The Agency Atlanta is the iconic brokerage that is revolutionizing real estate worldwide. We pair global resources with decades of hyper-local Atlanta market expertise to deliver results. If you're selling your home, we'll help you showcase your property and maximize your return. If you're buying, we'll guide you through every step to secure the perfect home for your lifestyle. Either way, we would love to earn the privilege of being your agent. So, if you're looking for that perfect Buckhead bungalow, that Alpharetta estate, an in-town condo, or suburban bliss, visit InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. Mark Aram is observing Rosh Hashanah. He'll be back tomorrow. I'm on every night, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'll be back on the air on my regular time slot tonight at 7 p.m. So please listen to the show tonight at 7 p.m. You can watch it, WSBradio.com. So coming up in the next segment, I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli at Gas South Arena, October 11th. Vinny, can you check? Is that? I think that's a Saturday or Sunday, the 11th. What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday. October 11th, you said?
Very cool. Yeah, October 11th at Gas South Arena, Saturday, October 11th. I'm going to be giving away those tickets in the next segment. So keep it locked right here. Andrea Bocelli. I'm gonna ask for tickets from promotions. I want to see him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good free date night.
That is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a romantic singer, great voice. Deborah Green, do you agree?
Yeah, I love Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, that's a great date night. Get a little dinner on the way. Dress up nicely and listen to some great music. So I think I want to go to that concert.
Is that a Golden Corral night?
No, it's date night.
Oh, okay.
She hates Golden Corral.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she she says that Golden Corral, too many people are over your food. And you don't know where they've been,
I can see that.
Yeah. I love buffets. Because buffets allow me to have, I may not want a fried chicken. I may not want fried chicken, but I can grab one piece of fried chicken, take a couple bites, and put it down. I don't have to. I can kind of pick and choose what I want. It doesn't tie me to anything. That's the biggest reason why I like buffet, because I can never decide what I like. So it allows me to eat everything,
right.
that I really want to eat. I do want to take this call, and I do want to talk about Tylenol and reporting on the whole story from yesterday. But we're running out of time, so we have to go to break. So I'll bring this back up. Tylenol, caller, hang on, because I do want to hear your story about Tylenol and your child. But when we come back, I'm going to put out the number, and you can be caller. We'll come back and tell people what number caller for a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli at Gas South Arena, October 11th. Also, I want to talk about later on, before we get off the air, the Sequoia Turner trial. You've been hearing our coverage of it, which should be award-winning. The coverage of this trial by Veronica Water is the absolute best. I want to talk about that, and also want to talk about the Appalachia. There's a lawsuit by parents of children and the teacher who were murdered in the Appalachia school shooting. I want to talk about that as well. Also, before I go to break really quickly, you heard a commercial for Deborah Morton, Inside Georgia Real Estate Show. I co-host with that show with her every Saturday. You need to check that show out. She is very knowledgeable. She is very good. And it's a very interesting show. Why? Because it's Deborah Morton, who's brilliant, and me, Shelley Winter. We'll be right back.
You worked hard for your 401k.
But if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
At SouthernLink, we know wireless connectivity keeps business moving. Whether you're overseeing assets in real time or monitoring crew activities, our Critical Link LTE network can keep your business applications accessible as you travel. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our mobile data solutions, LTE voice and data services, mission critical push-to-talk, and interworking solutions. SouthernLink, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Dave Baker for Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Looking for a new truck and looking for a great deal? Simply go to beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals and save money on a new Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming is the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. Happening right now, world leaders are meeting at the UN General Assembly in New York to discuss the world's most pressing problems. President Trump just wrapping up his speech. He talked about ending 7 wars, but is still trying to help end Russia's war in Ukraine.
I've also been working relentlessly, stopping the killing in Ukraine. I thought that would be, of the 7 wars that I stopped, I thought that would be the easiest because of my relationship with President Putin, which had always been a good one. I thought that was going to be the easiest one. But, you know, in war, you never know what's going to happen.
And President Trump will have sideline talks also with Ukraine and leaders of Arab nations as the UN is going on. Right now, we have mostly sunny skies and 83 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. It's going to be partly cloudy and an isolated pop-up rain showers possible today with a high around 90, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Well, following the news that federal health officials have linked autism to Tylenol, Dr. Danielle Fallon, Dean of Public Health at Emory University, tells WSB these recommendations against the use of the drug are being made prematurely. We did ask her if there are any studies that back up the move.
Well, we have studies in both directions. So there are large studies that see an association between acetaminophen use in pregnancy and autism. There are also large studies that don't see an association between the two. And those studies that don't see the link are more recent and more rigorous than the previous research.
So she says right now it would be premature to declare that acetaminophen is a cause of autism. All right, we have new information this half hour on a burglary suspect in Gwinnett County who was shot and killed by a homeowner. We were telling you about that story this time yesterday. Police today have now identified the deceased suspect. He's identified as 25-year-old Kylan Sunday of Ohio. Gwinnett police say the man used a propane tank to
bust out a window at that home on Red Bark Court. When officers arrived on scene and surrounded the house, they were making entry, and that's when the homeowner shot and killed that suspect who was undressing at the time. No charges have been filed against the homeowner. There's a big recall from Toyota, nearly 600,000 vehicles being recalled. A number of models included in this recall, like Corolla, Highlander, RAV4, also some Lexus models, the LS, RX, and TX. This recall was issued because of a faulty dashboard panel. The automaker is saying that Toyota and Lexus will inspect and update programming for all vehicles impacted by the recall and replace the faulty parts that could be the cause of this malfunction. Customers impacted by the recall will be notified by Toyota, they say, by mid-November. And high tariffs on imports from India putting cheap supplies from that nation's drug makers at risk.
India is often dubbed the pharmacy of the world, but President Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs as high as 250% is raising questions about whether the cheap drug imports will continue. Data from the healthcare analytics firm Symphony Health indicates that nearly 2/3 of all birth control pill prescriptions in the U.S. last year were made by just 2 India-based companies. Meanwhile, more than half of U.S. prescriptions for high blood pressure and depression were serviced by Indian drug makers. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
It's time now for a check of the roads. For that, we turn to Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Sabrina, right now still watching construction delays into Lithonia. The left lane is blocked. I-20 eastbound past Panola Road, exit 71. The brake lights will find you east of Wesley Chapel. Also into Cobb County, 285 northbound. That's a brake light battle from Memorial Drive up to Highway 29, Lawrenceville Highway, where they are doing rolling construction in the left lane. That will continue up toward I-85. And then between Marietta and Kennesaw, you're seeing brake lights on 75 northbound. That is all due to right lane construction at Chastain Road, exit 271, right there next to KSU. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 89. An isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible this afternoon. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, trending hotter with a high of 90. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow evening. Widespread rain showers on Thursday, high 79.
It is 81 degrees right now in Decatur. Holly Springs has 79. Vinings, you have 80 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next on the Mark Arum Show, Shelley Winter filling in for Mark. He's observing Rosh Hashanah today. He'll be back tomorrow. Coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tylenol, this Tylenol story and the studies. Also, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli to October 11th at Gas South Arena. That's coming up next.
Do not stress about your aging water heater. Get peace of mind from my friends at Reliable. Mark Arum here. Check it out, guys. A new water heater, only $29.99 a month from Reliable. Or you can go tankless for only $59.99 a month and enjoy instant and endless hot water. Unbelievable service, lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and low monthly payments. Schedule an appointment right now at their website, reliableair.com, or call or text 770-594-9969.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
If you're ignoring any cracked bricks or concrete cracks, you could be ignoring underlying foundation problems. You'll want to get ahead of these problems sooner rather than later. Don't wait any longer. Visit AquaGuard.net today to book your free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, you're their priority. From personalized service to luxury amenities, they make sure you feel valued every step of the way. Buying or servicing, your experience matters. Call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing. Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. He is observing Rosh Hashanah. He'll be back tomorrow. Breaking news, my friends. Nexstar, one of the largest local TV station owner groups, and was one of the first to drop Jimmy Kimmel's show off of their ABC affiliates. They have joined Sinclair. Nexstar is one of the largest local TV station owners. They joined Sinclair Broadcasting. Sinclair is the largest owner of local ABC affiliates. Sinclair's already said they're going to play local news and programming for respective to their local markets. Nexstar is doing the same thing. So now Jimmy Kimmel, who's going to be back on the air tonight at tonight Tuesday, is not going to be heard or seen in many places because the two largest companies of local television stations will not be airing his show. So that's breaking news. Nexstar joins Sinclair in not bringing back Jimmy Kimmel Live. Here's their statement. We made a decision last week to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live following what ABC referred to as Mr. Kimmel's, quote, ill-timed and insensitive, end quote, comments at a critical time in our national discourse. Nexstar said in a statement, we stand by that decision pending assurance that all parties are committed to fostering an environment of respectful, constructive dialogue in the markets that we serve. Well, there you have it. So now two of the largest local station ownership groups have decided not to air Jimmy Kimmel. However, our partners upstairs, our cousins, our brothers and sisters upstairs, they're an ABC affiliate, WSB-TV, the greatest TV station in the entire history of the world, will be airing Jimmy Kimmel's show tonight. So you can see it here locally. I want to get that out. So did you hear the story about, really quickly, let's go. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Be caller number, Vinny's answering the phones. Let's put them to work. Be caller number 15 for a pair of tickets to go see Andrea Bocelli at Gas South Arena on October 11th. Caller number 15 for a pair of tickets to see Andrea Bocelli at Gas South Arena October 11th. Caller number 15. Start calling now. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. I should have said caller number 100.
Oh, he would have hated you.
I know. Oh, man. So anyway, the story about Tylenol, right? So President Trump and RFK Jr., they had a press conference. They said Tylenol causes autism. You've been hearing all morning long. There are studies that show that it does, and then studies that show that it doesn't. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up, in addition to our great reporting here, which, this is the best place to get all your news because we're right down the middle. Well, with the exception of my job is to be opinionated. But our reporters and our journalists, they're true journalists. They're right down the middle. One of the things that I'd like to add to this entire conversation, and I'm going to sound a little bit like Dr. Joe right now, but one of the things I'd like to add, there are natural remedies for a pregnant woman to combat a cold or a fever, because that's what I'm hearing. Pregnant women will take the acetaminophen for fevers, because you have a baby, you have a human body inside of you, so I'm sure you catch a lot of things. I'm not a woman, and I've never been pregnant, and I don't have kids, so I'm not familiar. But there are natural ways to combat fever. and colds. You could, drink hot liquids, take a steamy shower. There are different herbs and supplements, vitamin C, zinc, elderberry, garlic, these things that you can make teas out of that would keep you healthy. And you don't have to worry about putting chemicals in your body. Because I do know this, I have back pain. So, by the way, next Monday I'm having hip surgery, my left hip. And so... ibuprofen, which is what they're going to give me for the pain after my surgery, I try not to take ibuprofen. I try and take natural pain relievers because I don't want to mess up my liver, right? Liver is liver ibuprofen. Acetaminophen damages your kidney if you take too much of it. So if you're pregnant and there's something that damages an internal organ, if you take too much of it, there's probably a risk that it's going to have other side effects as well. So I just wanted to add that. Again, I'm not a woman, never been pregnant, can't get pregnant. And have not had children in my life, so I've not been around a woman who was pregnant and having to take care of her, so I wouldn't know. But I would say that one of the things that we need to be talking about as we report on this Tylenol story is also letting people know that there are natural ways to break a fever, natural ways to break a cold, that you don't have to resort to chemicals. Right, Deborah Green? Do you want to make fun of me?
I'm not making fun of you. I just would want to say, it seems a little bit easy for men with no medical training to tell women that they shouldn't take medicine if their doctor is the one that says they could take it. And I don't like to take medicine either, but if my doctor's saying, hey, you need this, I'm probably going to trust that person more than someone who doesn't have any experience in medicine and, again, cannot get pregnant, doesn't understand what it's like for your body to have that pain.
And so I agree. I completely agree with you. I'm just saying since yesterday, and I saw this yesterday, Trump and RFK Jr. went on there talking about Tylenol, talking about acetaminophen. But what I felt like Robert F. Kennedy should have done was gone a step further and talked about some of the more natural remedies that were available that if you have to take it because the pain is so severe, you take the acetaminophen, but there are natural remedies that are also available. Oh, I thought she had a comeback to that.
Oh, sure, I guess so. But again, you're talking about people with no medical training.
That's true. There you go. My dear sister. Shout out to Kerry from Hampton, who won the tickets to see Andrea Bocelli October 11th. It's a Saturday, I'm told, Gas South Arena. I think I want to go to this show. I don't really ask promotions for a lot, but I think I want to see this show because it's a good date night, a really good date night. I want to, Sequoia Turner, one of the more fascinating things, and I'll talk about this so I can talk about another story before we go off the air. Got a couple minutes. So Sequoia Turner, this is the young lady, the young baby that was killed. The police shot and killed Rashad Brooks. That area of town was shut down, taken over by members of the community, a lot of them Antifa. The lady that burned down the Wendy's, that was the center of all of this action because it was a Wendy's drive-through where Mr. Brooks was shot and killed by the police. That was burned down by a member of Antifa, who's just been designated a domestic terrorist organization by the president. Don't necessarily agree with that, but I'll talk about that another time if you guys don't mind. As a matter of fact, come back at 7 o'clock and I'll explain to you why I don't agree with it. But she was a member of Antifa, and she burned down the Wendy's. They caught her, right? She didn't live in the community. She was not from here. And many of the members that took over that area were not members of the community. But Sequoia Turner was a little girl in the back of a car. The car went through the barricades. They went to make a U-turn, and they opened fire on the car, killing Miss Turner. Well, that area that was shut down and became a no-go zone was allowed to stay that way for several weeks. And Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was the mayor at the time. And she's running for governor right now. Now, I'm just saying what I find interesting. I like Miss Bottoms. I talk to her often, and she's a very nice person, a very good person. I'm obviously not going to vote for her for governor, but she knows that as well. But she's still a nice person, right? And I didn't agree with her when this was going on. I thought she should have stepped in and shut it down immediately, but she decided, for whatever reason, to not step in. And one day I will ask her that. But what I find interesting is that there's no Democrat, Mr. Thurman, Mr. Estevez, Mr. Derek Jackson. Mr. Derek Jackson, by the way, we talked about earlier, who just had a press conference about blackface at a high school volleyball game being so outrageous. No one's attacking the former mayor who's running for governor in a primary against these gentlemen. No one's attacking her during this trial. Now, you can make the argument, well, it's the death of a baby. You don't want to politicize it. Miss me with that answer. Because if it was the other side, you'd be all up and down about this story and while this trial was going on. If one of the people involved in your race, one of your opponents for governor, was the mayor at the time that this happened. I find that very interesting that nobody is criticizing her for her role in the death of Sequoia Turner. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. Let's go check traffic with Alex Williams.
Hey, Shelley, still watching the slow zones in DeKalb County, all due to construction. If you're heading toward Lithonia, you got a left lane block, 20 eastbound, approaching Evans Mill Road, exit 74. You slow before Panola Road. 285 northbound, the outer loop between Clarkston and Tucker's jammed up from Memorial Drive up toward Lawrenceville Highway and La Vista Road with rolling construction there in a left lane. And if we're traveling downtown, seeing a few brake lights, not awful though. 7585 southbound, 17th Street down to Cortlandt Street, and northbound tapping the brake pedal, University Avenue to Freedom Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
no
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Starting a business takes grit and fortitude, but to keep it going requires taking care of customers like family. That's our motto, and my family's been sticking to it for decades. Hi, this is Daniel Jape, and you can count on Jape Services to provide quality care and price transparency for your home's heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. At Jape Services, we're a family-run business, and I personally guarantee to treat you like family as well. JapeServices.com.
Jape Services.
This is Mike Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers.
And this is Jonathan Geller. And Dad, you ever think we're too honest in our commercials?
What do you mean?
Like telling people we've got the best prices in Atlanta.
It all comes down to the best jewelry at the best prices.
Maybe that's why folks have trusted us since 1939.
Exactly.
In Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Cue the jingle.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
You know the saying, age before beauty? Well, many Atlanta homes built in the 80s and 90s are really showing their age and not so much beauty. Roofs are leaking, windows are drafty, paint is peeling everywhere, and that front door, well, might as well say Y2K, here we come. So many projects, and that means hiring a bunch of contractors, right? Wrong. Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. When you bundle several projects with Exovations, you can save time, money, and coordinate everything all at once for a truly stress-free experience. From the roof shingle at the top to the last drop of paint on the bottom, Exovations does it all. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, gutters, and more. And with Exovations, you know we'll do your project on time, on budget, and without all that stress you usually hear about in construction. Schedule your free consultation today at exovations.com and bring your home into this millennium.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. He'll be back tomorrow. He's observing Rosh Hashanah today. He'll be back tomorrow. So worry not. My little brother will be back on air tomorrow. I'll be back on the air tonight at 7 p.m., so please come back. We'll stay here all day. You got Eric Erickson coming up 12 to 3, and then the great Von Hester Doctrine and the Doctrinaires coming up from 3 to 7, and then I'm back at 7 o'clock. So there's no reason to go anywhere. And then we have news with Bill Caiaccio and Sabrina and the great news department we have here. I mean, why would you go anyplace else? I just don't understand why anybody would go anyplace else. Don't forget, afternoon, at 12 noon, I'm going to be telling you the 5K a day word of the day. 95.5 WSB has 5 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. Listen for the key words coming up at 12 noon, and you have 30 minutes to enter the keyword, and one lucky listener will get paid $1,000. That's coming up at 12 noon, the word of the day. I want to end with this. There's a lawsuit by the parents of 2 students who were murdered at Appalachian High School during the school shooting. And they have a $25 million lawsuit. And what they are alleging in their lawsuit is that the FBI warned the school district, they warned the local sheriff, they warned the administrators, and no one did anything. They also talk about that the sheriff's office, I told the sheriff's office did nothing. They failed to take promised steps. The sheriff's office made promises to the FBI that they would take steps to monitor the shooter. They never did that. And I think they have a great case. One of the mothers of one of the victims, on the morning of the shooting, multiple school officials had been warned that something might be coming. The family said Gray's mother, that's the shooter, called the school counselor 32 minutes before the rampage began, saying she had received a concerning text message from her son, but no lockdown was triggered, according to the notices. Gray's first period teacher, suspicious of this is Gray is the boy, the shooter, suspicious of the boy's behavior and his heavy backpack, had emailed administrators to relay his concerns, the family said. Again, They said no action was taken. The notices also question policies in Barrow County law enforcement and school officials. They say, for example, one policy prevents, this is crazy to me, guys, one policy prevents school resource officers from searching student backpacks, and they leave that to the administrators. Well, if a kid is coming into school and his backpack is weighed down, the school resource officer has to go to an administrator, find the administrator, the administrator has to find the student, and then search the bag. I would think a school resource officer should be the one searching the bag. I'd rather the school resource officer search a student's bag than an administrator. Because if there's nothing there, the school resource officer is a police officer. He can say, okay, keep going, kid. The administrator now is going through all your personal property. I'd rather it be the school resource officer. It sounds like these parents have a very good case. I bring this story up to bring this up. And the parents can do whatever they want. I applaud them. I hope they win. But I got to tell you, I don't know that I'd want money in exchange for the life of my child. I don't know, because every time I go to spend that money, I'm thinking about my child. I'm already can't forget and get my child's face out of my head for the rest of my life. I couldn't imagine what it was mean to lose a child. But I don't know if I'd want to sue. I just don't know. I know it's easy for me to say because I'm not in that position, but I just don't know. I have a good friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name. I visited his dad in the hospital. And the hospital that his dad is in, he went in for a simple procedure several months ago. Something went wrong with the procedure. It caused more surgery, and the father's been in a lot of pain. And I talked to my friend, and I said, hey, you should sue. That's like the normal thing for Americans to say, right? You should sue. And I'll never forget what my friend said. He says, I just want my father out of pain. I'm not interested in money. I just want my father out of pain. I'll never forget that. Shelley Winter, I hope you enjoyed yourselves this morning with me. Mark will be back tomorrow. Don't forget, coming at 12 noon, I will tell you the word of the day. Come back tonight at 7 o'clock. I'll be right here. God bless you. And I say this at the end of every show that I do on my show. Know this in your heart. God loves you. Peace.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
There are clearly more thrift stores opening up, and they vary a lot in quality. And some of them I walk in, and within 2 minutes I realize, not for me. Then others I go to, and they've got exactly the kind of stuff I want at the prices I'm willing to pay. A tiny fraction of what I'd pay for items new. So if you really want to save money, don't buy new stuff, scavenge like I do.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer Rufus has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 bucks off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop